This is the weekly sales meeting for May 26, 2024. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, the price anchor. In the world of boating, the anchor is a heavy object dropped from the vessel to secure its position on the water. It can keep the boat from drifting due to wind or current. This seems like a good use of equipment. Mountain climbers use an anchor to secure themselves. They will use it to prevent falling. This also appears to be a good use of equipment. In human psychology, the anchor can be a cognitive bias. It is assigned to the first piece of information we receive, and we use it to base our decisions moving forward. We may assign this information the exalted status of infallibility. We may never question its validity as it was first in space. This initial information can bias subsequent judgments or estimations. While anchors are great in boating and climbing, they can cloud our judgment in decision-making. Back in the day, you could use introductory pricing to entice new customers. It was a solid strategy, but if the product did not have major enhancements post-introduction, you will have a hard time growing the customer beyond the initial offer. The conversion rate for introductory offers ranges from 18 to 29%. That depends on the industry. The conversion rate for upcharges is under 30%, and it is more likely the 18. With this statistical analysis in mind, let me ask you this question. Do you have enough business in your pipeline to afford this risk? You will spend a tremendous amount of time, effort, and resources to get this new business. Does it make sense to do it at a low introductory price? And does it make sense to do it with this false hope? The false hope is that you will convert 18% of them. Less than 20% will adapt to your regular pricing structure going forward. Or does it make more business sense to create a high value proposition and then fish in the high value prospect pond? When we look to develop new business, this anchor effect comes into play. Often it is created through the price and value comparison, and we have 100% control of that. Unfortunately, we will blow it more times than not by pricing the initial offer too low. Our first impression and the value assigned to it will be defined by the first contract. When that number is lower than it needs to be, we will have a hard time working back to real value. The customer assigns that number to our foreheads, and it never gets erased. Well, not without some drastic changes in the economic conditions of the time. It begs the question, why do we undervalue our product? Why do we do it to lure in new business when that business has as much chance of sticking as our everyday business does? The only difference is our long-term everyday business is priced at the market value. It doesn't need a sale or a discount. Because of the anchoring effect, first impressions matter. The first impression makes a long-lasting impact. Leading with the best offer is great advice as it sets the tone. But the best offer does not have to be the lowest price offer. We mistake the price and value comparison as being one-sided, as if all decisions are driven by price. I would make the argument that price may be a factor, but it is not the only factor. Coming in strong with a big value proposition will be a positive anchor for your sales franchise. This value proposition should solve a problem. It should ease some customer concerns or pain. If we do this, the price is a secondary concern, and it will influence the customer's perception of everything we do from here on out. If we are not solving a problem, we are then a commodity, and commodities are negotiated to price only. To avoid this, lead with the best of the best. In today's fast-paced world, attention spans are limited. Showing the best first ensures that the most captivating items are in the forefront. This will grab the prospect's attention right away. Display the utility of what you offer before bringing the price to the table. When you lead with the very best, your confidence level will go up. It is a sense of pride to show the best of what you offer. Some are scared to do this, but you shouldn't be. If you are scared to show the best of the lot, you may want to rethink your career choice. Put your adult shoes on and go out and show the best of the best. Know that no one can beat you at your best. In doing so, you will use the anchoring bias to your advantage. People rely heavily on the first data points. When making decisions, the initial input is a big chunk of the decision tree. Why not tip the scale in your favor? Show the best. You can always come down from the top of the mountain. But if you start at the bottom, you will never make it to the top. This is not mountain climbing. This is selling. In selling, go big first, as it sets the anchor for the rest of your relationship. And if I am going to be judged on my price and value comparison, I want that to be as high as possible. I want it to be Snoop Dogg or Willie Nelson high. When customers see high quality and desirable products right from the start, they perceive your entire product array to be of higher value. By showing the best first, we can anchor the customer's perception to the top tier options. Any additional offers appear to be more reasonable and attractive in comparison. Showing the best first is a strategic sales technique aimed at capturing attention. We are creating a positive first impression. We are building confidence in our offerings. We are leveraging the psychology of first impressions. We are using the anchoring effect. It gives the salesperson the greatest chance of making a successful sale, and it leaves a lasting impact on potential customers. The price anchor can also act as an albatross. In a metaphorical sense, this albatross is the unwanted attachment of low price. It is the stink of low perceived value. The reason it's called an albatross dates back to the late 1700s. It is a reference to Samuel Taylor Coleridge's Rime of the Ancient Mariner. In it, the mariner is forced to wear the corpse of an albatross around his neck as punishment for killing the bird. The dead albatross becomes a symbol of the mariner's guilt. It is the consequence of his actions. When we lead with a low price, we have this low price attached to us for life. It becomes that albatross we cannot shed. Every time we see that customer from this point forward, we will be held to that pricing standard, unless there is some drastic change to the economics or optics of our offers. If you go in low, you will stay on the low side. When we go to the auto mechanic for repair and ask for an approximate cost, most are reluctant to give one, because whatever price we get married to in our minds. This is the forever price. But the price is always more than the estimate, especially at the auto mechanic. In advertising sales, the reverse is true. Most are used to negotiating the price, and it always goes down, not up. We don't have the luxury of being the auto mechanic. We can't come back with a higher price and have that pass the smell test. As sales trainer Brian Tracy says, the first price is the price anchor. It sets a reference point in the consumer's mind. So I ask you, why would you want the anchor to be low? Dan Ariely is a professor of psychology and behavioral economics at Duke University. He is the author of several books, including Predictably Irrational in 2008. It is true that some of his findings were alleged to have used fake data. A 3-year confidential investigation revealed that while the data from the Honesty Pledged paper had been falsified, it found no evidence that Ariely used fake data knowingly. Here is some of the truth from his findings. He wrote, "The anchor price exerts a powerful influence on our willingness to pay, often without us realizing it. That first position sets the tone for the future. Whatever value we place on our product first out of the gate becomes the forever value. That is, unless we do some heavy lifting. It will take yeoman's work to make an anemic first offer into a giant customer for the future. It could be that we are delusional. We trust in conventional wisdom, despite all evidence to the contrary. Our delusional thinking is based on hope. That hope is to get the customer to do business with us no matter what, and then we will worry about growing the customer after the initial sale. What will happen is we get the customer for the initial offer, and then that is all they will ever spend with us. And we trained them to do this. Fast forward 5 years, the customer is anchored at whatever the initial price was, all because of our delusional thinking based on hope. As I tell my sellers, hope is a great girl's name, but it's a terrible business plan." Daniel Kahneman is an economist and author. He shared the Nobel Prize for Economic Sciences with Vernon Smith in 2002. His findings challenged the assumptions of human rationality in modern economic theory. He says the initial price offered, or the anchor price, is the starting point from which negotiations proceed. Chris Voss is a former FBI hostage negotiator, author, and speaker. He is best known for his expertise in negotiation tactics, particularly in high-stakes situations. Voss spent 24 years working in the FBI. He served as the FBI's lead international kidnapping negotiator. He is the founder of the Black Swan Group and the author of Never Split the Difference. In it, he says by setting a high anchor price, you can create the perception of value and justify a higher final price. During normal negotiations, we tend to meet people in the middle. For many, that makes up a fair exchange. Yet it is my belief that fairness is one-sided. While we were taught to play fair as children, it doesn't always translate into the world of business. It has a winner and a loser, and it's not equitable in the long run. By setting your initial price higher, it gives you a fighting chance at coming out on the plus side of your business arrangements. Richard H. Thaler is an American economist. He was born in East Orange, New Jersey. From these humble beginnings, he rose to become a professor of behavioral science and economics at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. In 2017, he was also awarded the Nobel Prize in Economic Science for his work in behavioral economics. He wrote, "Anchoring is the human tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information offered when making decisions. And because of this tendency, it becomes both a tool for use and a weapon to be used against us. If we plan and play the long game with each customer, we can use it as a tool. If we are only interested in what we are doing today, we forego tomorrow. And then it becomes a weapon in the hands of our customers." If we head back to the delusion discussion for a minute, we will find that we are also chasing shadows. We are chasing a utopian outcome rather than challenging ourselves and bracing for normal operation. This normal says that the statistical average is 18%. For those we convert with the initial low offer, only 18% will become converted growth customers. This is the same statistical average for our pursuit of everyday business. Why then would we spend inordinate amounts of time, effort, and money to chase discounted business, especially when we could put forth the same effort in our pursuit of long-term customers? That long-term business has a higher probability of becoming repeat customers. These become raving fans of what we do. The same cannot be said of those acquired by price chopping. Discounters will leave you as soon as a better discount shows up elsewhere, and then it is a race to the bottom. Beware the price anchor. That first offer to any new customer will set the tone for the value of both you and your product. It becomes the price that gets tattooed on your forehead for all eternity. The conversion rate of low-priced offers to long-term customers is no better or no worse than the one for your pursuit of full-margin business. Wouldn't it make more sense to double your effort to attract the best customers than to troll the bottom for those simply chasing a low price? The low price only customer is not sustainable. Someone can always have a lower price than you. Where they cannot compete is in the value category, and value is what we receive for the price paid. Work on creating an unmatched value proposition. This is one where the utility of the offer far outweighs the cost of goods sold. Then the price anchor becomes but a mooring, and there is plenty of headroom for the upsell. My new book, 21st Century Sales Success, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.